did a really good job of getting the three levels in, where the appreciative one came more in terms of appreciating the situation that you are in and its possibilities and limitations, and then the influence part came in more in comparing yourself with others and the different options that you had, and then realizing that it takes both of those to get the success that you want at the control level and so on. So you had the three things in, and the appreciation changing some of the influence, and then changing even probably whether you stayed or left and went to a totally different life. So you managed, in terms of influence, to see it in terms of a wider appreciation than the conflicts of influence, because there's always some stress in influence. It's always the positive and negative. That's the nature of influence. The electromagnetic field works through positive and negative. Influence works through positive and negative. You can't just have all nice stuff in influence. There is always opposition to what you're doing, and so the way you deal with that and avoid the confusion of too much choices is through having a purpose, and through knowing that your purpose transcends what you're doing now. And so having some idea of what you want to do with your whole life puts the current situation in perspective for you, as you did, comparing, well, all of these others, their dream is to that, and I'm halfway to that, their dream, and I've got much more chances than they have, so I'll go there. So what your presentations have done for me, I saw you really completing the appreciative work on yourself, and what I saw now, I saw the end videos, what I was talking about, to say, between now, these presentations, and the last day of class, I want you to take this you that's being filmed there, and I want you to become that person in the future. It's got to be a minimum of 10 years out. I'd prefer it to be 40 or 50 years. Even the end of your career would be ideal. But the farthest you can go and still feel comfortable that you can see it, and you can make it live for yourself and live for us. So just as you explain in some way now an appreciation of how you got here and the struggles with visas and all like that, that's now. Okay. What about, when will you be a success? When you will be accomplished? Will you be married? Will you have children? Will you be in the same field? What is it you do? So use the rest of the course to be able to get there, but explain it in terms of how you use appreciation, how you appreciated the situation, how do you appreciate the situation, how to get where you want, what worlds will you have to appreciate, and how will you get that appreciation? Will you actually create appreciative things where you don't know, so you get the whole of a field together some way? It may be, say it was a family thing, do I get my whole family together? Do I get myself in a position as a consultant or a facilitator or an academic who then is able, or a member of government who's able to get all the people affected by this industry, all the people affected by this NGO, and so I enable them to appreciate. There's not just that I appreciate. If I'm a leader, I'm going to affect other people. So I want to lead them in an appreciative process. Well, who were those people that you led in the appreciative process? Who were the people who are most influenced by that? So All of this is imagined, but the more you imagine it, you increase the probabilities of getting there or somewhere similar exponentially. It's amazing just imagining the thing. Remember we said that yellow is the highest human power you can have, and it's imagination. So if you can imagine how you will be when you're a success, when you're happy. Now, success to me doesn't mean to say you're making a lot of money or you're president of this or that. It means you are achieving your inner purpose, which the maps will give you some help on what that is, and so you will be a full person. You know, did you hear of that note of Einstein's that just sold for $1 million? Einstein was at a restaurant, I think it was in Malaysia or somewhere like that, and so he didn't have the currency or the change to tip the waiter. So he wrote on a piece of paper something like, happiness is not getting to be the leader of your field or to do anything. To have more modest goals may allow you to be happier than you would under the stress and strain of trying to be exceptional in everything. That note sold for $600 and something thousand from Einstein to this waiter. And he was basically saying what I'm saying to you. Success isn't, and achieving your purpose doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a billionaire. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the best scientist in the world or everything. It's going to be you using your full capacities that make you feel you're living out what's important to you, but you're doing it in a way that's helpful to others, and it's doing some good for the world. If you have all those three, that's what makes people happy and feel completed. So I want to see you up there saying basically what the motto of this school is. Helping to make a better world one student at a time. So you're that student, and on that last day of class, I want to see how you're going to make a better world through being you. But now have a much better understanding of being you and how you use all of your appreciative power, influence power, and control power to be that better you, making a better world. So between now and then, that is the real goal. And the readings and everything are to give you the language to get a better expression of what we mean by control, what we mean by influence, what we mean by purpose, and so on, so you can explain it. So it's not just a story, there is science behind it. Okay, so let's have a break, and I'm going to start the next session at 1:15. Who's that lady? 1:15. So she'll be back, but sorry?
How long is the break?
Till 1:15. Where's the clock? Oh, there. Yeah, till 1:15. Till 15 minutes past. So I will start the next session at 2:15. Oh, you haven't done it. Oh, sorry. I thought we'd come to there. You were the last, so I thought you were the last. Yeah. Okay, fine. So I guess we'll be. I just took it that you guys were the last.